Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my birthing story. Now, the last time I updated you guys on my pregnancy, I believe I was about 39, almost 40 weeks pregnant, and the baby had not come yet. It's been a little bit harder to film being a first-time mom now, but I'm here to update you guys on my birthing story and let you guys know how it was as a first-time mom. My due date was actually July 11th, 2018. And I was just waiting for this baby to come. I was uncomfortable. I wasn't sure what contractions felt like. Is it like period cramping? I had no idea. I was like, how do I know I'm in labor? I don't know, is it gonna hurt? You know, in the movies, they show that water breaks like a big gush of water and all of a sudden you have to go to the hospital. Yeah, that's not how it necessarily works all the time. So basically for 5 days, I experienced what was called pre-labor. From 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. I had the worst pain of my life. It was like this intense cramping stomach pain. I don't know if you've ever had food poisoning, but the stomach cramps that come with food poisoning sometimes that really hurt when you eat something bad, or period cramping, it was that times 10. Like, I've never experienced any pain like this in my whole entire life. And I hurt myself a lot by falling, tripping on the stairs. I do a lot of that, but this was the most intense pain I've ever felt. So beside me, my husband is snoring and he's having a good sleep, and I am so uncomfortable. It's really weird because all of a sudden you feel this gush of pain and then you relax. Within like maybe 10-15 minutes apart, gush of pain, and then you relax. So it was like this for 5 days straight, 5 hours every morning from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. And she was already 5 days late at this time. And on the 7th day, my midwife said, okay, come to the office and we'll check you. We'll do a sweep, we'll do all this stuff. And she checked me and she said, you're only 2 centimeters dilated. You know, in order to go to the hospital, usually they will admit you when you're 4 to 5, sometimes even 6 centimeters. So you're not there yet, but for a first-time mom, this is pretty good. You're 2 centimeters dilated. It might be a little bit longer. The baby's gonna come out when she's ready. Meanwhile, I'm like, I am so done being pregnant. But of course, she decided to take her precious time. Fast forward to the next day. It is now 2 p.m. We have an appointment with the midwife again. Said, sorry, Ida, nothing's changed. You're still 2 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, okay. So I go back home, and when I get home, this is the most intense pain, even more than the other days. And now they're coming really quickly, every minute for a minute long. I literally just saw my midwife, and so I call her and I said, you know, Sarah, my contractions, I think their contractions have been really painful. They're about a minute apart. We've been timing them. She said, okay, well, I want you to take a shower or a bath, and if the pain subsides, then that means you're probably not in labor yet. If the bath or the shower does not help, that means you probably need to meet me at the hospital. So I get into the shower. It makes the contractions even worse. So now I'm like trying to breathe through them. This is the worst pain of my life. Fast forward, we get to the hospital. It is now about 4:30 p.m. She checks me. She's like, you're 5 centimeters. That was quick. Labor is happening right now. You know, I didn't realize how high my pain tolerance was until going through pregnancy. And I brought a big ab ball. I would recommend that just to roll around in because the contractions were so uncomfortable.
Little update. As you can see, we changed scenery. Right now, your mom's going through some contractions in the bathroom. As far as we know, your mom's 5 centimeters dilated. I'll be right back.
5 hours later, it's 10 o'clock. I'm still in labor, and she checks me. She's like, oh, you're only about 7 centimeters. Okay, in order to give birth, you have to be 10 centimeters. I'm just like in severe pain because now the contractions are coming quicker, faster, and more intense. I declined all pain medicine just because I felt like I could still handle it. And the doctor came in and said, all right, well, you know, me and your midwife, we're gonna try to break your water because it seems like the baby's head isn't fully engaged yet, so that it can come down the birth canal. We're gonna try to break your water in hopes that the baby will, you know, shift. That bag would have moved so that the baby's head can move down the canal. So getting your water broken is the weirdest thing. It feels so strange. They basically poke like a sterile sticks when they poke you. It doesn't hurt, it just feels uncomfortable for a little bit. What it feels like when it actually breaks, it feels like you just peed yourself. It's so wet and warm water. They're like, oh, it's clear fluids, that's great. You know, the baby must be doing great in there. Then hopefully in a few hours or so, we will have a baby. All of a sudden I realized, I don't think the liquids are clear anymore. I think it looks greenish. We realized that it had meconium, which is basically when the baby poops in the amniotic fluid. And my midwife said this is quite common for babies that are overdue because, you know, they've been in there longer than what they were technically supposed to be in there for. But it's really important to make sure that the baby's okay and that, you know, they get out of there sooner rather than later. After they popped my water, my midwife checked me. I went from 7 centimeters back to 6 centimeters. I went backwards. I was like, how does that even happen? But she told me that sometimes when they pop it kind of contracts. It contracted a whole centimeter. The doctor comes and she checks me and she realizes the baby hasn't moved at all. At this point, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to throw in the towel. I was exhausted.
It's been a whirlwind these last couple hours. Long story short, you just didn't want to descend. And now your mom has been going through all these difficult contractions. Nothing's been going through. So what we're gonna do now is do a C-section. And yeah, your mom has gone in to the OR to get prepped and I'll be joining her shortly. So probably in less than an hour, I'll be meeting you for the first time. And I just want you to know that your mom is the strongest person in the world that I know. I can't wait to meet you and hopefully I can see your mom too.
Never been in an operating room in my entire life, so I was just by myself. I was a little nervous. I remember that, you know, they were playing music. You have to have your arms like literally wide open. I guess it's just the way that they do the anesthesia. My hands were shaking and jittering. They said it was a reaction to the anesthesia, and I remember looking at the anesthesiologist saying, feel like I'm gonna vomit. And he's like, yep, that's probably from the medication I gave you. Literally just vomited like twice. They take the baby out and, you know, I meet Avery for the first time.
That's so sweet.
I was a little loopy and tired at this time, but she was gorgeous. She was perfect. They just said, oh, you had a lovely baby girl. She weighs 8 pounds 6 ounces. The pediatrician's gonna do her thing and then bring the baby to you. While they're doing this, the room goes dead silent. It went from, yeah, you know, blah, 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 to dead silent. And I knew something was off. Like, is the baby okay? My doctor, you know, professionally says, are you aware that you have cysts on your ovaries? Oh, none of your imaging mentioned anything? I'm like, not that I was aware of, no. I remember, because I work in the cancer field. So my first question was, is it cancerous? Well, it looks like a dermoid cyst. Pretty sure it's not. I'm gonna take one out. I feel I can access it right now. So fast forward, they close me up, everything. I'm really groggy. The surgeon comes to see me and she actually tells me that when they opened me up, the reason why they got so quiet was they found a 13 centimeter dermoid cyst on one of my ovaries. And the other ovary had a 6 centimeter cyst. My diagnostic imaging mentioned anything, so she was really upset. Something like this big should never be missed, especially with images and all that. In a way, even though the C-section was not what I had planned for our baby, like I literally had it in my brain, I am gonna have an actual birth. I had it cross my mind that, hey, what happens if you have a C-section? Because I didn't realize how long and how difficult the road to recovery is when you have a C-section. You can't do a lot of stuff that you're normally used to doing. For 6 weeks, I could only lift up my baby. I couldn't vacuum. I couldn't pick anything up the ground. It hurt too much. I went from being fully independent to not being able to bathe myself. Like, it was so difficult for the first week or two. It was definitely an eye-opening experience for me. I am thankful that it happened, because if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have known about those cysts. So my moral of the story is that the birthing process is difficult, it's painful, it's hard being a first-time parent. You don't know what to expect. You're really nervous, you're scared. Even when you're in pain, it's nice to have someone that you can depend on. Even though you think you have a plan of how things are gonna go and you feel prepared, life just throws you a curveball and you just have to roll with it. At the end of it, we're so thankful for our baby girl. I'm gonna actually bring her on camera and show you guys how grown up she is now. Where is she? Look at the camera. Who's that? Can you say hi, guys? She can say a few words now. Oh, she's waving hi to you guys. Wow, good job, Abe. That's very good. Good job. She's about almost 9 months now, and she's a handful, but you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. That's when you were born. Whoa.
High
Can you
five.
high five, Mama?
High five.
Yeah. Good job, Avery. She likes the camera look. Oh, she's giving you guys a wave again.
She's saying hi.
Yeah? Why don't we say bye-bye now? Thank you for watching Mommy's video. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
She's saying bye-bye now.
Saying bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.